well equipped and make these services available so that our brothers in the remote areas could have access to diagnosis, which is very, very important because you have to test before treating. And this such a person is positive, he has to commence treatment immediately. And if it is the other way around, that the person is free from viral infection, he should commence vaccination immediately so that we'll be able to have what we call herd immunity, a situation where majority of the people of the states have the immunity against hepatitis B and A. You find out that the remaining few people will be protected by those people who have been vaccinated. And that is why it is also good for us to ensure that we employ professionals, because it is the professional that will handle this. It's not just a mere test where you can just go and run the screening, hepatitis B screening, and
then maybe you commence treatment.
Once you test positive, a professional, a medical laboratory scientist has to come in to confirm the effectivity of that test. And thank goodness this time around, the vaccines are now being produced from bacteria, unlike before, which it was attenuated. And sometimes when test positive, we now try to confirm if it is a result of vaccination. But this time around, these current vaccines that are available since about 5 or 10 years ago now, it's just from bacteria. There's no any fear for anybody getting hepatitis from the vaccines. And in the end, when you take it, you will find that it will prevent the transmission. And also a mother who is pregnant is advised to also carry out screening tests for hepatitis. If it's positive, you should commence treatment. And if negative, also take the vaccines. And there's a policy by World Health Organization in collaboration with World Hepatitis Alliance that any child born should receive this hepatitis B vaccine within 24 hours of birth.
That's interesting.
And that is why it is good for us to reach out to the people who are practicing maternity homes, the traditional birth attendants, educate them on this. So the government has a lot of work to do. And that is why I said we have the tools, but the situation in our hand is that there is no political will for us to drive it. Because a situation where the vaccines should be available and there is no advocacy for people to go and take the vaccine. And the vaccine will be in our primary health centers. And in the end, if I find that, deteriorating and not even so, because we have storage devices anyway that can store it, but expiring without people taking it is not advisable. There should be much advocacy. And we should not only dedicate 28th day of July every year for
awareness around hepatitis.
Because as we are talking now, it's busy spreading. And the only way we can contain this is for us to ensure that we enlighten members of the public what this hepatitis is all about. That it is treatable if it is hepatitis B, it is curable if it is A, C, E, and you cannot get D without C. When you get all this information, it will equip you. And when there is a political will, the government will now have that zeal to ensure that the citizenry are protected.
All right.
At the end, we'll be able to actualize the dream of World Health Organization that stated by year 2030, there will be no new hepatitis B transmission.
So that's a projection.
That is a projection.
The year 2030.
And that started.
And this is 2025.
Just barely, I think 9 years ago. Well, we have barely 5 years to go. So all these things are what we are advocating, that people should know your status. Go to the nearest laboratory, manned by professionals, run the test, and if it is negative, take the result to the nearest health center and get vaccinated.
Wow. A long list there. We must Dr. Ejiofor Mama for your time in running this national service.